Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about prophecies. What exactly is a prophecy? A prophecy is nothing but the ancient, uneducated human's word for a prediction. And a lot of times I'm sure it was just a lucky guess. The only difference between a prophecy and a prediction is the era in which it was made. A couple thousand years ago, it was called a prophecy. Today, we call them predictions. Have you ever noticed how all the religious people love to go on about all the prophecies that have supposedly been fulfilled? Of course, whether or not they were actually fulfilled just depends on the person who's interpreting them. And prophecies, just like any religious book out there, can be interpreted many different ways. And have you ever noticed they always seem to talk about all the hits, but they never mention all the misses? It's like these people, what do they call them? The cold readers. You know, they have an audience and they're supposed to be some kind of a psychic, and I'm seeing a person with a name that starts with an S. And somebody out in the audience yells, well, I have an uncle, his name is Samuel. And he goes, yes, that's it. His name is Samuel. I'm seeing Samuel. Samuel did something with his hands. He did some kind of work with his hands. And while he was an accountant, yes, he was writing all the time with his, and they go on. And everybody's so awed by this. Oh my gosh, he's getting all these right. But they never pay attention to all of the things that he got wrong. He'll have 100 misses, but everybody focuses on the handful of hits that he gets. And it always makes him seem like he's some kind of a magical person. I mean, the definition, and I checked several different references, the Merriam-Webster's Dictionary, the Oxford English Dictionary, reference.com, and a few others, and they all basically have the same definition. Definition for a prophecy is an inspired utterance of a prophet, or the function or vocation of a prophet, specifically the inspired declaration of divine will and purpose. A prediction of something to come. A prediction of something to come. Now the definition of prediction, or to predict something: to declare or indicate in advance, especially foretell on the basis of observation, experience, or scientific reason. Observation, experience, or scientific reason. So, someone in ancient times was paying attention to what was going on, observing the turmoil in their society, or what's going on with their government, and the government that's about to overthrow them, or what have you, and they make a guess of what's going to happen. Well, since, these events are unfolding in this order, I'm predicting that things are going to turn out like this. And then when they do turn out the way that they said, he's called a prophet, and the prophecy has been fulfilled. No, he just had a lucky guess, that's all. I mean, come on. If we go by that reasoning, that he made a prediction of something and it came true, that he's some prophet, do we consider the weather forecasters on TV and the radio, whenever they forecast the weather and it turns out how they said, do we consider them some divine oracles of God? No, they're weather forecasters. They know what they're looking for, and they make a prediction. I mean, and really, the only time that usually the only time you hear the word prophecy used nowadays is in reference to some holy scriptures, be it the Bible or the Quran or the Torah or what have you, or when someone's talking about some loony bird religious leader who has delusions of grandeur and thinks that he can see the future. And just about anybody nowadays, whether they're religious or not, would call that person crazy. I mean, what is it? What has changed in that couple of thousand years to where somebody back then is considered a prophet of God and somebody nowadays is just considered nuts? Why is it that we call them crazy if they live in modern times, but they're called holy prophets if they lived a couple of thousand years ago? I mean, what makes the ancient nut jobs different from the ones today? I'll tell you what it is. It's one thing. No one living today was around a couple of thousand years ago to see just how batshit crazy those guys were. That's it. Prophecy is just the ancient word for prediction, and a prediction is really just sometimes, most of the times, a lucky guess, or a guess based on observation and experience. That's all. Has nothing divine or nothing holy to do with it, nothing to do with God. Until next time, see you guys later. Oh, and by the way, yeah, that is me and George Takei. See ya.